All right, we're live. We're live on YouTube. I gotta back this up because it's way too close. Hold on. I don't know if you'll even be able to see me, but you should. Oh, hey, whoever just joined, thank you. Whoever just joined, thanks so much. Thank you. So this is a daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. Monday through Thursday, we do it on Instagram. So if you get a chance, please do follow me on Instagram, Born_without_boundaries over on Instagram. There's a lot of good stuff, and I'm like TikToking like crazy. So I do a lot of fun videos over there too. So check me out on Instagram because I do a daily live Monday through Thursday over there. But Friday it's here because I have the bandwidth. You know, I upload all these new videos Monday through Thursday. So if anybody's looking, yesterday Cancer, Leo, and Virgo should have gone up. But today I have a lot of free room. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me so much for jumping on, guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to do a daily tarot card reading. What this is for everybody. It's not a horoscope and it's not zodiac sign specific. It's a general reading. Good morning. I'm going to try to look at your comments, but my camera's far away. Like I can't see it. It is what it is. So look at we got what we got, and we're going to make do. This is the Talisman and Cauldron deck that I use. Talisman and Cauldron is actually a spiritual store in Derby, Connecticut. And it should still be available online. I'm not really sure. She may have sold out, but it's a specialty deck. Anyway, the energy is cleared out. I always use sound cleansing to clean out the deck because I was using sage and I was like literally getting bronchial infections because I was saging every friggin' day. So no more saging every friggin' day. Now I'm doing sound cleansing, which is beautiful, and it's time tested, it's age old. If you think about it, that's why churches have bells. It's a sound cleansing, it's a spiritual healing. It's an aspect of spiritual healing to ring a bell and clear the energies and sort of like even out the vibrations and bring things back to harmony. So that's exactly what cleansing is. And so I've sound cleansed the deck, I've reorganized the deck, and we're firing up, we're ready to go. Let's see what the message for today is. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that what the energy is coming through are going to happen today, but it's a message as in this is what you need to know today. All right, everybody who just jumped on, hey, what's up, Jackie? Thanks for being here. Let's go. So we can talk as I divide the deck. That's cool. Okay. There's different feelings of what is supposed to be where in terms of the divide. We started with 5. Let's go to 4. No. We started with 6. Let's go to 5. Okay. Let's go to 4. Let's go to 3. Let's go to 2. Let's go to 1. I want to do it again. I'm going to start at 7. We'll go to 6. Messages for today. What do we need to know today? What do we need to know? What are the messages that need to come through for today? Messages for today. All right, you ready? Thanks for everybody who just jumped on. It's good to have you here. Let's go. Messages for today, please. Messages for today. What do we need to hear? What do we need to know? What do we need to hear? What do we need to know? All right. What do we need to hear? What do we need to know? Interesting. I'm going to leave these where they lay. I did something really fun and really, I think, destined, if that makes sense. I ordered a deck. I was looking to order new decks. I was interested in ordering new decks because I've spoken to you guys about this before. Every deck has its own voice. It has its own way of speaking. And when I say way of speaking, I don't mean a language. I mean a mentality. So straight up, you have decks that are more conservative, more rigid. You have decks that are more artsy fartsy. You have decks that are more earthy crunchy. You have decks that are more analytical. You have decks that are more sensual. You have decks that are more family. You have decks that are more fantastical, dreamy, inspirational. You have decks that are aspirational. Every deck has its own modality, if you will. So I was looking for more to sort of expand the different themes or ways that I can speak and messages that I can convey. And so what I was just looking, I literally just Googled new decks and I was searching around. I look at the pictures. I do definitely, the images speak to me. I'm a very visual person. And I am designing my own deck. Yay! So with the time that I have now made for myself, I'll be able to finish the second book in my trilogy, and I'll be able to finish out my deck. So Born Without Boundaries deck will hopefully be ready to print or ready to get off press by the end of this year, but we'll see. Anyway, I was looking for a new deck, and I see what calls to me, and I found like the perfect deck. And I'm not going to have it till June because it's coming through Etsy. But it ended up being, this was not intentional. It ended up being a Lenormand deck. Now I've never gone into Lenormand because Lenormand is a different style. It's not tarot major. It's a different set of images, and it's a different set of it's just a different style of reading. But what I realized was the tarot spread that I don't do a traditional tarot spread. I do my own tarot spread, the spread that I'm called to do, and I read it very much like the Lenormand style. So I feel like it's almost destiny that I'm called to this deck. I think I intentionally stayed away from the Lenormand decks just because I was like, I want to start with the classic, the traditional. And I think it's a good place to start. It's a really wonderful place to start. But I have ordered my Lenormand deck, and I'm extremely psyched about it. I think that it is a style of reading. It's a kind of deck that already flows with my kind of vibe, my kind of like currency, and my kind of current, not currency. And I'm really, really super psyched about it. So that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. I think it's gonna be awesome for me. But let's finish this reading. We have, yep. All right. Cards come out the way that they come out. We have one more card that needs to come out, or however many cards need to come out, they come out. But I do an 11 deck spread, and one card has shown its face to me, and it's the final one. And that final one is saying that something's about to pop off quick. Something's about to come. Something's about to happen. And I see 4111 right up at the top. Nice. Get your 411 right here. All right. So the only card that comes face up is the one that sits at the final position, and that is the Eight of Wands. That is messages coming in, motion, movement, quick. Something's happening. Something's happening, something's stirring. There's a movement, there's progress, there's something going on. There's a lot of different attachments to this card. I have heard I have heard things like Cupid's arrow, love could be coming in. I think that's more determined about what the cards are surrounding it. I don't think that that's a steadfast meaning of it. What this always means, though, is things are starting to happen. They're starting to pop off. Shit's gonna come in quick. So that's where we end. We end with things finally moving. So where the heck are we starting? Okay. There's a lot of movement here. It's almost like this energy is calling for movement, because we start out with the Chariot. We start out with almost the mentality of, or like what you would say, because this is major arcana, right? What you would say is the universal message to get going, that now is the time. It's the time to move. It's the time to go. It's the time to make progress. This has to happen. Now, of course, this is Cancerian energy. The Chariot is related to Cancerian energy. Cancer season happens between late June and late July. So think about that. If there's any kind of movement or progress coming, it could happen then. This is the energy of 7 as well. And remember, if you remember, I needed to go back and split the deck 7 ways. There's an energy of 7 calling and pulling this reading, which is telling, or pushing this reading, if it will, speeding up the mentality of it. 7 is the number of creation. 7 days, 7 nights. Something is popping off. And this is sort of the energy of push, create, drive, move forward, progress, create. Okay, what's coming next? Stuck between a rock and a hard place, feeling stuck, feeling lost, feeling like, okay, but which way do I go? It's like almost like wanting to move, but not knowing if you can move, or feeling like your hands are tied, feeling like you don't want to move, not because you actually don't want to move, but because you don't know what your next move is supposed to be. This is also feeling, it's mental. It's in your brain. Your brain is stuck. It's like a decision-making process, or what you think, your beliefs are what's keeping you stuck. Your beliefs are what's keeping you from being able to move forward. And I can tell you this right now, it's more a sense of your beliefs. What your beliefs are really telling you that is wrong is that it makes a fucking difference which decision you make, which direction you go. It doesn't. It doesn't make a decision which direction you go. It's almost like you're stuck thinking that the next step or the next direction I take is going to determine everything. No. What is going to determine everything is that you get going, is that you move, is that you go. Remember, the universe will communicate with you. That inner voice will communicate with you. It will help you reroute yourself if you need to be rerouted. But the big win is that you've gotten on the road. And this is where you get stuck. This like perpetual confusion, not being able to decide, and it gets worse and worse and worse. It starts to exacerbate itself. Why? Because you think, the untrue belief is that you think it makes so much difference where I go, what I decide. No, what makes the difference is that you go, and that you keep making decisions, and that you keep making progress, and you make one decision after another decision, and you will go. You will get to where you need to go as long as you are in motion. Next, we have heartbreak, we have anxiety, we have suffering, we have sorrow, and end. Now, of course, this has to end. Of course, this leads to this. Why? Because of our belief systems. This bitch, this is the belief system, okay? She got 2 fucking swords in her hand, and she got a blindfold on her fucking eyes. If she just decides to put one of the swords down, she could take the fucking blindfolds off. It's not that she's actually stuck, and that's what I want you to understand about a lot of the swords cards, is it's the thought, it's the belief, it's what your brain is telling you that is actually trapping you or defeating you. And this is it. It's that ouch, it's that pain, it's that suffering, and it's also leaving yourself wide open or vulnerable. Bitch got 2 fucking swords in her hand. But how's she gonna know which way to swing them? She's totally vulnerable. She thinks, this is the illusion of safety, right? She thinks, Oh, I'm safe because I got the swords and that's what people tell me I need. But if you're blind and you don't know where the attacks are coming from, they're still going to be able to get to you, right? Your thoughts, this illusion of safety, this illusion of but I need everything perfect, or I need to know exactly where to go. That's an illusion. That's an illusion that's keeping you stuck, keeping you vulnerable, and keeping you in pain. High ground. This is whoever takes the high ground is going to fucking win, right? That's it. Don't like, I'm sorry, a notification just popped up. Still don't know how to turn those off. Anyway, this is the high ground. Now, the high ground isn't the easy ground. You need a lot of courage and bravery to take it. But this is a sense of moral high ground. Now, it could be another message that's relating to the card after it. So let's hold off a little bit. But this is a sense of standing, like doing the difficult thing, doing the hard thing. Yes, there's going to be kickback. There's going to be like reverb. There's going to be like there's going to be pushback, right? Who cares? Who cares? That's not a reason to not do it. That's not a reason to not do something. The conflict ahead or the perceived conflict is not a reason to not get going. Not, right? And in fact, when you do get going, and when you stand up to those fears, you have the high ground. So it could be like 6 against 1. It doesn't matter. When you have the high ground, you're going to win because it means you have the advantage. Woo! 9 of Cups. This is 10 to 1. You're going to get what you want. Especially, you remember when I said that maybe this card is going to be affected somehow by the card after it? If you stand the high ground, you're going to get what you want. Your wishes are coming true. You're going to have some satisfaction. Now, what is the high ground? It is not the moral high ground. You know, I'm so good because I do the things that everybody tells me to do. No, that's how you get stuck and you get slain and you get your heart ripped apart. The high ground is connecting with spirit and connecting with your morality, your internal morality, your individual morality. It's connecting with you and your soul purpose and fighting for it and doing it. It's aligning with your soul purpose and doing it. And then what's going to happen? All these down here are going to get fucked up. like, go ahead, step to me. I got the high. I still want to step to me. Because you're so powerful when you're aligned with your spiritual purpose. You're so powerful that there's nobody that could stop you. And even your 3D wishes are going to come true. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the way. Yes, thank you so much for who just donated. Yes, I do accept donations. So thank you so much for whoever just donated. There are different ways to donate to the channel. You could do it through here, through live chat. If you buy the extended readings, I feel like buying the extended readings is the best exchange, because you get something wonderful for the donation that you make. And for me, that's just everything, right? So thank you for your donation here. And there's also a PayPal link where you can make donations directly to the channel. So if anybody's looking, you can find all that information in the description box below, or you can go to the YouTube videos and you can always find the link to the extended videos, and they're the bomb. I mean, brief interruption and sales pitch, I have to say, my extended readings are the fucking bomb. They are like not a 10-minute addition onto the reading. They're not sloppy. They're usually longer, and they're definitely more in-depth. So it's like, if you're missing my extended readings, I gotta just break it down to you. You're missing a lot. Like, people keep asking, I keep getting these messages, why doesn't the title match the video? Because the video on YouTube is only half of the reading, right? You want the full message. You want to be able to understand the title. You got to watch the full reading. And the full reading is the YouTube video and the extended. If you only want half, there is something that you could get out of just the energy reading. Absolutely. Especially if you're watching multiple energy readings for your sun, moon, your rising, etc. But you want the full reading, you got to get that extended. It's that simple, and it's a wonderful way to donate to that channel too. Sorry, I just had to go off on that tangent because I saw there was a donation, and I'm really grateful, and thank you so much. It helps to keep the channel alive. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, this is standing your moral high, standing up for who you are. You know, it's not just like, you know, to shake your finger. It's not about shaking your finger at somebody. It's about sticking up for what you believe in. And what you believe in is your soul purpose. So when you align with your soul purpose, universe is motherfucking, like, understand, the universe is so happy with you when you're like, when it just looks down to see that you're doing and you're aligned with what you're supposed to be doing. The universe is like, oh my God, like, understand that like shit like money, shit like fame, shit like celebrity, shit like big houses, shit like all the shit that all of us make too much of. The universe sits there and is like, that's shit. I mean, but when you align with your soul purpose and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the universe will throw that crap at you, because that's just stuff. And stuff is easy for the universe to come up with, right? I mean, it's like, it's just going to throw it at you if you're aligned with your soul purpose. If you're aligned with your soul purpose. Now, there are people who steal stuff, right? Who are not aligned with their soul purpose. Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. They hoard stuff too. But believe me, even those people can't get in your way. If you're aligned with the soul purpose, it's so easy then for all 3D abundance to come. The problem is we always shift our focus to the 3D abundance, and we're always working toward 3D abundance, and we're totally skipping the real way to get the 3D abundance, which is to align with your soul purpose and do what the universe assigned you to do, and then you automatically going to get all that 3D stuff, because that's the easy stuff. The reason why most of us end up in the mediocre realm is because all we do is focus on the 3D stuff. I got to get the house. I got to pay the mortgage. I got to pay the bills. I got to get the car that I want. We focus on all that stuff. We make that the focus, and we're totally ignoring universe saying, I gave you a purpose. I gave you a life purpose. Like, why are you focused on that crap? That's not the important stuff. Right? And that's the easy stuff. But when you focus on the wrong stuff, you end up basically getting into this really mediocre loop, either in terms of your happiness or even just 3D abundance, what you have. It's just, you get stuck in this mediocre loop of almost numbness because you're not aligning to your soul purpose, what you were assigned. You had an assignment here. There was a reason why the universe put itself into your body to look through your eyes. You were assigned here for a reason. What was that reason? If you're aligned with that reason, you will have a good life. So, what comes next? Walking away. It's interesting how 9 of Cups came, and then 8 of Cups is our central energy. Now, the central energy does not necessarily come in the sequence that all the other cards come. This is a sense of like the theme, the real center of the message, which is get to work, get going. You got to leave all the crap behind. This is being willing and able to walk away from what does not serve. First, to do that, you have to admit what doesn't serve, like what is not serving you. What ain't working? If it ain't working, why are you still trying to work it? This is leaving and walking away from those cups right there that are they just got dust in them. They're not filled. You see, the wonderful thing about this card is it demonstrates all he knows. He don't know where he's headed, right? He didn't sit there and think, oh, which way? No, he's going into a very gray sky. He's going into a very gray, he don't know what's ahead of him. What he knows is that what's behind him don't mean shit. That's all he knows. And based on the fact that this is not fulfilling, he's like, I got to go. I got to get out and I got to go. I just got to get out on this road. It's not about, am I on the right road? You are always on the right road if you are aligned with that inner voice. And 8 of Cups has the strength to hear that inner voice. Just go. Get out, go. Because what you're dealing with is not serving you. So there is a sense here of a really big change that starts deep inside, driven by your emotions. And everybody knows your emotions are like spirit's speaker system inside your body, right? That's what emotions are. So it's like driven by your emotions. You're like, all of this is about changing your life, changing your decisions, and letting go of the crap that does not serve. That's your central energy. 7 of Cups has come out next. That is confusion, delusion, and distraction. Distraction from purpose. Think about this as like when Pinocchio was like, hey, diddly dee, the actor's life for me. You know, like that's the distraction. But you know what's important about this? You know what's important about this sequence? Is that you have to go through it. You can't avoid it if this is what you're trying to avoid. You know, the drugs, the alcohol, the sex, drugs, rock and roll, the dangers, the distractions, the illusions, like if you're trying to avoid the dangers, you're going to avoid life. What you got to do is walk through this shit. You have to keep going. The way out is through. That's the only way out. If you're really, really on your way to somewhere great, the only way out is through. You can't just sit and avoid this shit. Like, this is where he's headed. He's headed right, bam, into delusion, illusion, confusion. He's confused. It's okay. You got to get through it. You got to get through it to do it. Oh, thank you so, Jackie. Girl, come on. You know. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bam! 3D abundance. But this is like a house, a home, stability. Okay, all those things that as humans with bodies that are important to us, we love them. We love shelter that protect our bodies, like that outside shell for our bodies so we can be safe, right? We love it. We love that we have money. Not that money is important, but it is kind of important in that it helps us move energy in this world, right? We move energy. We move energy around. That's what it's about, dude. Like that's, yes, okay, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. Once you get through all the heartache and all the heartbreak, once you get on that road, once you get through the confusion and delusion, you're on your way to stability and happiness. But I think ultimately the statement here is you got to fucking earn it. You got to earn it. I think that people are under the impression that you can just sort of kind of come about it. Like, and you can't. And how do you earn it? Well, you earn it by aligning with your soul purpose. Like, that's what you do. Like, if you have not earned it by aligning with your soul purpose, it can and probably will be taken from you. Letting you know, interesting energy, Ace of Cups, done. Ultimate disappointment, heartbreak, suffering, sadness. This is almost like, if I'm reading the cards in sequence, if you succumb to all the distractions, if you succumb to all the superfluous bullshit, because look at what's in that cup. All those cups are filled with bullshit. They're not filled with anything that would fill your soul. Seven of Cups is almost like the energy of candy, a bunch of candy. If you eat candy every single day for a year, you're going to die. But this is a sense of like candy distracting you. And then what the fuck happens? You end up being so emotionally empty that you're like, well, why isn't my life happy? Why don't I love the person that I married? Why don't I feel comfortable and safe in the house that I'm living in? Because you didn't align with your star player, as Cat Williams would say. Somebody bring back Cat Williams because I love him. I love him. Is he in jail again? I don't know, because that happens to him often. He's like in and out of jail, and I don't hate him for it. He's living his life. But the bottom line is he's in and out, so I never know. All I know is he has not been on tour lately because I really want to see that motherfucker. I really, really do. I really, really do. I love him. Queen of Swords. Bam. Now, so this bitch shows up to redirect us. I've said it 1,000 times. She's my GPS card. It's like GPS realigning you with your soul purpose. It's that reminder that if you get off your destination, if you get distracted by shit that you should not have been distracted by, your GPS system will start beeping at you with that annoying voice. She'll come back in there and she will redirect you. This is being redirected and real fucking quick. This is like quick, speedy redirection. Absolutely like quick, hurry up, being redirected like a 180 turn or like a 90-degree turn, like whoosh, just like turning really quick. But it's also your brain. You know, in the spiritual community, I think we overuse the concept of follow your heart. And we overuse it only in that we treat decisions, like brain decisions, like they're stupid. Yes, they're stupid if you get all crazy about them. Yes, they're stupid if you let them take over. But if they are tempered with your heart, that is the perfect balance. It's the perfect, blame it on my Libra rising. I'm always coming back to balance. We have a brain, a heart, and a soul for a reason. Why aren't we using them? You know, why aren't we consulting them? Your soul, I said this yesterday on the daily. Your soul is the way, it's the drive, it's that direction, right? Your heart will find the way, right? Your heart is that, oh no, your soul is sort of the inspiration. Your heart is sort of what finds the way and will guide you. But your brain is up in here fucking like turning the goddamn steering wheel, reading the fucking maps, trying to communicate to you every day. It's like your brain is that tool that helps you interact with this 3D obstacle course that we're all put in. And if you ignore that brain and the mental input, then what's going to happen is you're going to also be in constant pain. But if you are using your brain too much and sitting there like, just, I'm not going to drive. I'm not going to drive because look at all the obstacles out there. I'm not going to drive. I can't choose which direction to go, so I'm just not going to go at all. Well, that's overusing your brain. It's not listening to your heart, and it's totally ignoring your soul, and you're going to end up dead. You're going to end up completely destroyed and decimated. The secret is to use them all together. So it's almost like when your brain is down, like when your heart is down, when you have totally emptied your cups because you fucked up and you followed the wrong path, right? You followed in a direction that just you got hurt. It's almost like a complete and total disappointment by the picket fence dream, right? There is a sense of, well, now you got to bring your head back into the situation. Use your head. Use your head somehow, some way. Use your brain to come back, get your brain back online and start helping you find the way through. You know, maybe your heart needs a little rest. Maybe it needs a little break because there's been a lot of disappointment, a lot of hurt, a lot of sorry, a lot of suffering, a lot of fear, right? Maybe your heart needs a freaking break. Well, wake your brain up. Let your brain make these decisions. It will show you. In other words, it will show you the way out. It will show you the way through. Now, in terms of like literal meanings, this is a woman. This is a powerful boss. And it's usually a woman who has matured and gained her experience by suffering. You know, swords create a lot of suffering. But she's learned her lessons, and she's learned enough to basically be able to cut off the hurt and find a way through. In other words, it almost seems like at least somebody out there is going through shit emotionally. Like you had everything that you ever wanted and had to walk away from it. And in doing so, almost like threw yourself off complete and total balance. There's just a lot of suffering and disappointment here. So this is somebody, or a mentality of somebody who can step up and use her mind over heart to lead you through this. Because if the heart is broken, something's got to take over. I make this joke all the time with Cancerians. It's like we're all heart. If you break our heart, what do you expect to be left with? Because we were never really strong up here. You know, I'm not saying that we're unintelligent. I'm saying that in terms of what we use to control our lives is all heart, but that's all unbalanced too. You know what I'm saying? Of course, our opposite, Capricorn, is all practical, right? It's too much the opposite direction. You have to find a balance between the two, and there is a call to redirect yourself. To redirect yourself and do it quick. Like with a quickness, you must redirect yourself. Now, where are we redirecting ourselves? That's a damn good question. And I don't think that it matters the direction that you go. It matters Well, don't go back. Don't go back, right? Don't ever turn around. You got to go forward. But as long as you're going forward, who gives a if it's left, right, northeast, northwest? Like like you just got to go forward, man. You got to go forward. Where are we headed? Where are we going? That's the question right now. Anyway, literally, this Queen of Swords is a woman who has gained experience, probably through divorce, probably through heartbreak. Oh, excuse me. And she's helpful because she can remain objective, look at what's on the map, and say, you got to get going. This is a head over heart decision. You got to leave all this shit behind. This is what came out. I said, where are we headed? Which direction are we headed in? We're headed toward victory. We're headed toward happiness. We're headed toward success. If we have aligned ourselves with our soul purpose, that's the high ground. Standing the high ground, sticking up for yourself. Stick up for yourself. Stick up for your happiness. Stick up for your right to be happy. There is some bumps ahead. There is more disappointments ahead. There is some sadness ahead. But I do believe you're headed toward a kind of victory. Public recognition. This is success. This is success in the public eye. Could be fame, could be fortune, could just be coming home and being welcome. Being welcome back to where you were always welcome, but maybe didn't know how welcome you were. This is people recognizing your value and celebrating you for it. That's where you're headed. That's where you're headed. And remember I showed you this card in the beginning? It keeps coming out. Bottom of the deck is victory over sadness. It's success. It's pulling the sword from the stone. You thought your life was ordinary, but that's because that's what you were settling for. Your life is meant to be extraordinary. Stand that high ground. Fulfill your destiny is what this is saying. That's what it is. That's 100% what this sword is, because it's literally the sword from the stone and it's crowned. This is the hand of God reaching down and giving you the direction that you need for victory. And if you listen and you follow, this is success and happiness and abundance. And listen, for people who are already on this path, it's coming. For people who are already on this path, it's coming. 100%. You don't have to worry about it no more. It's already on its way. Now, for those of you who are sitting there suffering, there is a sense of realign right now. Do not wait and do not think, and do not wait and do not overthink. Make the decision, decide to align with your soul purpose. And yes, we get it. You don't know which way to go. We get it. You don't know what the next step is, but you're never going to see the step after until you get to the first step. And then you can see a little bit farther and you can say, okay, I'll make this decision. And you move to the next step and you're like, oh, I'll make this decision. And then you move to the next step and you're like, oh, I'll make that decision. But if you stayed on step one, you couldn't see all the way up to 4 steps ahead. And it's a lot of times people expect, they want the whole fucking thing right there in front of them. They're like, this is what you can expect on step 4. This is what you can expect on step 5. Bullshit. You got to get to step 3 to even see what step 4 is. Why? Because faith is part of this recipe, my friends. Faith and listening and aligning to spirit is part of the success recipe. You don't get here without faith. And that's part of the moral high ground, is aligning to that voice inside yourself. You have to, spirit isn't going to come down and say, let me make this easy for you. Oh, by the way, you want me to carry you? Bullshit. I gave you 2 fucking legs for a reason. Use them. Now, some of you are in wheelchairs. It's okay. I gave you 2 wheels for a reason. Use them. But you're not going to get the answers and feel the security. I just want to know. I just want to know. You'll know when you get there. You'll know when you've done the work and you've taken the risks and you've had the faith to get to that next step. That's when you'll know. But you don't deserve to know right now because you haven't even gotten your ass out the door. Okay? So what you got to do is you got to get your ass out the door. You know? I said this to you guys. I had talked to you guys about this a couple of weeks ago. No. Maybe months ago now. I had seen, because I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy, and I had seen this YouTube video. Clearly, I'm a big fan of YouTube too. Sometimes I'm a big fan. Anyway, I digress. I had seen this YouTube video about, like, it had talked about Joe Rogan and Bill Burr, and it had shown their progress through the years. And what I took away from that video, what really shocked and stunned me, was that both Bill Burr and Joe Rogan, if I looked through the clips, right, both of them had been working at least 10 years. Like the clips showed way back in the early 90s. They had shown that those motherfuckers had been working at least 10 years before people even knew that they existed. Or at least they became like household names when they started to get popular. So it's like, listen, they couldn't have stepped on that road and been like, guarantee me that I'm going to be internationally famous. No, they had to get out the door and they had to take one step at the fucking time. And they had to just follow. Part of that is risk, part of that is faith. And the only people who are willing to take risks are the people who have faith as their ally. Okay? So it's like you have to put in these work. You have to take the first baby steps before you get to the bigger ones. It's like everybody wants that hand-by-hand direction. Oh, you can expect this many baby steps and then you'll get to the next one. But then you're skipping an ingredient. And then they wonder, why do I only have mediocrity? Because you skipped an ingredient, bitch. Because faith was part of the ingredient. And if you need somebody to hand you the step-by-step, then you are skipping over faith. And if you skip over faith, then guess what? You're not going to get to the beautiful prize. You're not going to get to the sword and the stone. You're going to get to the mediocre place where everybody else gets. Because you think, oh, I got the handbook. It makes me feel safe, so I'm okay. And I just do step by step. And then why isn't my life wonderful? Because you don't get that heavenly place. You don't get to the dream come true without faith. You didn't take faith. You insisted. You were like, wine. That's what you were like. Somebody better come and help me out of this. Show me the step by step. And then we're okay. All right, if that's it, that's your deal with the devil. That's your deal. That's your sellout. You don't want a faith to be part of that ingredient. You want to get to that beautiful, that place. You have got to use faith. You have got faith as part of that recipe. If you want to get there, faith has to be a part of your process. So you have to cut this bullshit out. I don't know which way to go. You just got to step on the road. And then you got to take another step. And then make a decision based on your viewpoint from 3 steps ahead. And then take another step. And then make a decision based on your viewpoint from that step. But that's faith. You're walking in faith now because you didn't know what you were going to see when you got to that next step. But you keep on walking and you keep on making decisions step by step, then you are showing universe, I'm following in faith. And that's how you really that's when the door of amazing, beautiful life, abundance opens to you. Is when you are walking in faith. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what the next step is. I don't know how I'm going to pay that bill, but I'm going to keep moving forward. I got to keep moving forward. Okay, if you sit there and sell your soul, which is what connects to faith, you sell your soul for that step by step, the best you can make of this situation is mediocre. I guarantee. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about complete and total victory and success. Divinely guided, you are special, King Arthur success, triumph, and abundance. And that happens by putting one foot in front of the other. Figuring it out as you go. You know, knowing that you have to earn the viewpoint from each step that you're on. And in the beginning, say those first 10 years for those famous comedians, when you're taking just baby steps, all you see in front of you is more steps. Do you know how hard it is, how much faith you have to keep walking when all you see in front of you is more fucking steps? Like you have to have faith to overcome this level of disappointment. You really do. But hey, guess what? You keep going, you keep stepping, and you keep walking in faith, then pretty soon those baby steps are going to let up. And pretty soon you're going to be high enough to start having a nice view. Right? But it's only through faith. That's it. You have to take the risks. You have to have faith. Let's get into another deck. I wanted to read the angel cards. I knew I was going to get into the angel cards today. I hear the crow. I hear the raven. I hear the raven calling. I hear him talking to me. I don't know what he's saying, but raven is spirit. Okay, 4 cards have come out. They're all beautiful messages. The one that flipped over is imagine. Clearly visualize the life you want. Feel it in your heart and soul so it will come to be. When you imagine, you lock in and you feel it in your heart and soul, you lock in your destination. Do not choose your directions. Just get on the path. Because as long as this remains locked in, you will get to where you go and you will allow yourself to live, which means you will have earned it and you will be ready for when you arrive at this beauty and abundance. It's like, that's how you earn it. That's how you're supposed to be there. You know that somebody who is got a lot of 3D abundance, but they're bad, they're corrupt, all that shit. They done took shortcuts. They stole lists. They insisted on what they didn't deserve. And that's why there's always an aura of misery and rottenness around these people. Right? But when you literally lock in your destination in your heart, you know you're going to get there. Then let yourself just go and let yourself just live life, because you will end up there as long as you keep that as your focus. Positive outcome. The sun is about to burst through the clouds and you will soon see things in a different light. Something that previously seemed hopeless will soon be filled with nothing but hope. Trust. All will work out well. We, your angels, are here to nurture, protect, and heal you. Trust in the healing power of our love. We love you more than you will ever know. Adventure. Damn! Instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore all the possibilities. There are many more than you currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all the colors in between. Exploring the colors in between. Remember what I said? You can't, if the saddest part of skipping steps is that you miss the rainbow. That's the saddest part. You've totally missed so many experiences in so many colors. And you could sit there like, I don't care, I'm filthy rich. You're miserable. You're miserable and you're empty. Whereas if you had allowed yourself to go step by step, you'd be filled with a rainbow by the time you get to the goal at the end. You'd have every single color. And I think that that's what it is. It's like, there's no such thing as just bum rushing a rainbow. You ever heard that legend? Like, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? But the rainbow is the journey. The rainbow isn't like The rainbow is actually the inspiration. And we all find our own pots of gold if we follow our inspiration. Like that's what it is. It's not like, but you have to go through every single color on that road. It's like you earn the pot of gold by going through the entire rainbow. You know, it's the journey. That's what it is. A rainbow is a path. It's a pathway across the sky. Ooh. Look at this. It's Friday. Should we have been this spiritual on Friday? Let me go back because I didn't discuss this with you. Friday, moon, of course, is still in Taurus, but at 8:43 p.m. it goes into void, of course, as it changes into Gemini, right? The moon is going to be entering Gemini. Pluto's about to retrograde. Oh, interesting. But anyway, the color today is the color purple. Nice. You know, I never saw that movie. I know, right? I gotta watch that movie. Let me read this little excerpt to you. Dragon's blood is earthly, spicy, and a little sweet. Burn it for oath-taking, abundance, or protection. Interesting. I love this. Oh, and you know what? I waited. I held back to share this little excerpt with you guys. But now it is upon us. Perfect time. Lang Lang essential oil. Lang Lang blossoms drip from their branches, fluttering in the island breeze. This essential oil's unique floral scent brings us into our senses and facilitates romance, relaxation, self-approval, and self-love. And you all know that it's easier to find the good one when you love yourself first. It's also a wonderful ally when healing from heartbreak, grief, trauma, or abuse. Divine timing, man. Hello. I got a heartbreak in my house. My poor son's going through it, man. That's why he's writing all that music. It's really good too. But I gotta go get him some Lang Lang essential oil. In the Victorian era, Ylang Ylang was added to scalp tonics to promote hair growth. For this purpose, try adding 10 drops to a bottle of shampoo. Shake well and wash it daily, massaging it thoroughly into your scalp. Add 6 to 8 drops of Lang Lang oil to a mixture of rose water. Shake and mist your bedding to encourage relaxed intimacy. Add a few drops of sandalwood for extra sweetness and attraction. Or mist yourself to open your eyes to your own beauty. You can also mist any space to promote feelings of relaxation and calm. If you're prone to panic attacks or anxiety, carry a bottle with you and inhale the scent when you want to center and settle your mind and emotions. If you have trouble sleeping due to anxious or repetitive thought patterns, try diffusing Lang Lang oil in your bedroom before you sleep. That's from Tess Whitehurst, and it comes from, of course, The Witch's Date Book, 2020. I love it. It's the best thing, especially for beginners like me or people who want to learn more. It's really wonderful. It's a really wonderful book. It's just opening my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know. And no, it's not that I need a step-by-step, but I do need help. I'm new. So it is definitely this, it's a resource that opens your eyes to so much, and I can't recommend it enough. That is Llewellyn's Witch's Date Book, and you can find it on Amazon. No, I am not getting paid to say that. I just want to share my abundance and the things that help me with you. This is interesting because if Lang Lang essential oil is helping, the first thing I'm going to do when I get off this chat is this live is to go look it up and like see if I can get it. I just ordered something the other day. It's not going to get here till June. I told you, my Lenormand deck, it's not going to be here till June. Maybe that's because it's from Etsy, and Etsy takes time. It does. Etsy is like, it's the stuff isn't mass produced. It's not like ordering from Amazon and they have it in stock and it can be here like the next day. Ordering from Etsy is slow. It's slower. So I get it. But this is really interesting, this oil. And I think I'm gonna do this. I still gotta get gardenia oil too though. Two things. So I gotta get myself out to Whole Foods. Yeah, hope that helped somebody out there. Like somebody out there needed to hear it. I just think it's really interesting because if you remember, the Taurus new moon was going to challenge us with almost the need for security, and it could threaten our need for security. And this is the energy. The need for security could threaten our prosperity and abundance in the future. It could threaten it because it could keep us from making the steps, taking the risks, and heading on the path that we need to in order to get to where we really want to be. And that's something that we have to watch out for. Everybody. It's like security. It's an illusion, man. It's bullshit. It's total crap. There's no such thing, man. There's no such thing. The only thing that's real is that alignment and that little voice inside you. And I just think that it's interesting that, right? I mean, it's not interesting. It's probably completely intentional because that's what they make this book for. Wednesday's new moon was in Taurus, of course, at 10:26 p.m. And they're saying, this, let me, I read it to you guys. Hold on. Whew. They're saying your safety depends on the need for stability, which is not easy to satisfy now. You have to learn to accept change as a part of your life. The basic problem is finding your own self-respect in order to ensure that you do not mistakenly seek it in material things. You see what I'm saying? Damn. When you accept yourself for who you are, it will become easier for you to find peace and tranquility in the outside world. Ooh, damn. And David Palmer, the Leo King, he just put out like a half-hour vignette on Instagram TV. Go to his channel, subscribe. It's amazing. It's literally like a half hour of clips from him talking all the way back from 2017 about all the shit that was going to be going down. That's going down right now. And it's one thing to say, I said it, but it's another thing to be able to show that you said it multiple times over the past 3 years. So it just totally blew me away. He is like I feel like he's the best astrologer out there. And I just highly recommend you going to see that video too. I think it's a really important video to watch because it really does not just, speak to how amazing he is, but it speaks to how true all this shit is that people try to like brush off as shit or fantasy or fanaticalism or spiritual mumbo jumbo. This shit has been happening for years. You can go back into history books years ago and see patterns that happen under specific planetary combinations, and it just proves it. But nobody wants to listen to it. Everybody wants to write it off as like bullshit or like crap. Like hooey Louie. Yeah, it's crazy how all you gotta do is look at the friggin' charts. It's not at all. All you gotta do is follow patterns. It's not crazy at all. It's like astrology was one of the first, like our connection to the cosmos was one of the first ways that we gave our life meaning and helped to understand our world. And then modern science has literally taken it and ripped it out and shit on it. Like, I'm here now. Only listen to me. And it's just like, back up, bitch. Nah. Our connection, our understanding, our eyes on the sky and watching those patterns and watching what's happening up there, writing it down and seeing what's happening down here. Is there a link? People have been writing this down since we were using I don't know if this is true, but since we were like tapping shit into stone, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why are we ignoring what was so primal and so innate that it's as natural as breathing to us? Why? I don't get it. Do we ignore the fact that we have to breathe? Do we ignore the fact that we have to eat? Do we ignore the fact that we have to love? Why are we ignoring something that was so like integral to who we are as a being, as astrology, not astrology, one specific school over the other, but like the cosmos, communing, like connecting with nature, connecting with our world, our outer world, to understand our inner world. Like it was so like people just got that. Like it was just so natural. And then we took what was so natural, right? What was so like real, and we superimposed this bullshit reality on top of it. Whoa. And because he is such a good astrologer, and he's so adept at like looking at those charts and picking up historical patterns, he puts it into a really like kind of digestible, he talks about it really fluently. But it's like, can't you feel it? Like, you know it, right? Like, can't you feel it? Don't we know? Like, we know it. We know what we feel. Why do we push ourselves away from it? Why do we leave? Why do we walk away from something that is so real to us and walk toward the illusions? Oh, that just gave me a whole new meaning. Chills. Walking away from what really makes us happy, our moral high ground, walking away from it, and toward a bunch of illusions of 3D stability, ends up leading us to a bunch of crap, just hurt and sorrow and being totally emptied and disappointed. That's why we need to get our GPS back on track. Take our mind and help us get back on track and realign. Amen. Amen and hallelujah. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thank you once again to, yes, absolutely, everybody who's made a donation to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I love these lives. I love them, love them, love them. I think this was a really powerful message. I'm going to leave it, it'll be on YouTube like forever now. I will, and I will see you guys on the live on Instagram, born_without_boundaries on Instagram. I will see you there on Monday. On Saturday, Sunday, I do not do any dailies. There will not be a romantic tarot this week. There will not be a romantic tarot until the beginning of May, which is not that far off if you think about it. But romantic tarot is now going from weekly to monthly. It's a huge, huge lift. And I honestly, this could be my conceit. I'm just going to say this to you all right now. I have like 26,000 subscribers. I should have 26,000 purchases for that romantic tarot every single week, because it's such a huge, dense, amazing amount of information, and you get a really nice introduction to all of it. It's a huge, dense video, but it goes for all zodiac signs. It goes for every single zodiac sign every single week. And it's like people kind of like don't get it, or they ignore it. And it's really weird to me. Like because every single one of those zodiac signs is represented, and that extended is usually 2 hours long. And yes, it focuses on romance, but it's always like just inspiration. It's direction. So the romantic tarot is so big and dense that I'm going to start treating it like I do the new moon and the full moon parties, and I'm going to do them once a month. That's what's going to happen. So expect the next romantic tarot. Oh, somebody, thank you so much. Kisses back. You're so cute. That's so cute. Oh, I love it. So the romantic tarot is going to come out, I don't know, first weekend in May. It's going to come out to you. So I hope you guys can catch that. And if you love these lives, come over to the daily. They have got to be on Instagram Monday through Thursday, because I upload so much on YouTube Monday through Thursday. You won't get notified if I go live, or there's going to be a notification that drops off, and I just can't. I hate that. So Monday through Thursday, join me for the lives on Instagram. Please come on over, and then definitely be back here on Friday. Have a happy weekend. Have a healthy weekend. Prayers for a vaccine and or treatments to cure people in hospitals right now, but also to get us outside again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, where I live, April's been pretty crazy and monstrous and cold and wet. So it's okay to be inside right now, but come summertime, you know we want to be on those beaches. So let's pray for at least treatments to come out, because that's really going to be the only thing that liberates us. It really is. Only treatments are going to be able to really make us go back to feeling like, man, maybe it's not about comfort though, right? Maybe it's not about comfort. But yeah, anyway, I just hope that you have a really healthy, happy weekend. And, you know, even if you binge Netflix all freaking week, you know, just do what makes your heart feel happy. But if that's not what makes your heart feel happy, stop fucking doing it and get your ass up and get it into gear. I hope you have the courage to follow your heart. I will see you guys on Monday. I love you all. Bye, guys.